Thank you, Darren. Questions are being raised about the training for police officers. This comes after former Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson was arrested and charged with first-degree murder in the death of Sonya Massey. Fox Illinois' Julia Rosier is working for you to learn about what training police officers have before they are on duty. Julia?
Eliza, the Illinois Sheriff's Association tells me police officers go through a 16-week training academy and other types of training. They talked with me about the importance of these trainings and why officers go through them. After a former sheriff's deputy is now charged with first-degree murder, questions are being raised about how police officers are trained.
We teach them the fundamentals of how to, use of force. Teach them what they need to know.
Officers go through a series of training measures, including a 16-week academy, field training, and online trainings. At the 16-week training academy, they're taught about crisis intervention and interacting with other people while on the job.
We do simulations, different kinds of training like that, but it's different when it's live.
They also participate in field trainings with other officers, where they shadow and learn while on the job.
They're going to ride with another officer. That officer is going to explain what they do. They've got certain benchmarks that they need to meet in order to be released to be on their own. It is something that gets them acclimated to the calls, because the last thing you want to do is just send them out there cold and they're doing it with a domestic situation and they don't know how to handle it.
The Sheriff's Association says the field training programs officers go through may vary by department, but they emphasize that officers conducting this training must be well prepared.
But ultimately, even with that, you need to make sure that that person that you're trying to train is doing the job in front of you so that you can see how they're going to act and react to different things and be able to help them in the process.
We also reached out to the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board for more information on those training requirements and certifications. In studio, I'm Julia Rosier. Back to you.
Thank you, Julia. The Sheriff's Association also says officers continue their training throughout their career, both online and in person. Now continuing our team coverage following the fatal shooting of Sonya Massey, some people in the community are demanding that changes are made to law enforcement. Fox Illinois' Carson Gordy joins us live in Springfield with the latest. Carson?
Although Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson was the one who fatally shot Sonya Massey, the Springfield Police Department says they're willing to listen to the community in order to improve law enforcement. Chief Ken Scarlett spoke at Tuesday's Committee of the Whole meeting and addressed Massey's death and took questions from several aldermen about how Springfield currently conducts policing. Chief Scarlett condemned the actions of Sean Grayson. He added that the Springfield Police Department, along with multiple local police departments, will look to rebuild relationships and trust within the community after the actions of the Sangamon County deputy.
I'm mad. I'm extremely frustrated. I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed that person would ever call himself a law enforcement officer.
Added that since 2020, Springfield has made reforms to the hiring process, screening out people who are a part of a hateful ideological organization. This came after a former police officer, Aaron Nichols, who resigned after the department began investigating allegations that he made racist and anti-Semitic remarks on the internet. Ward 2 Alderman Sean Gregory hopes that the city puts forward reforms that would increase the broad scope of police misconduct cases that reach a commission board for review. I'm Carson Gordy. Back to you.
Thank you, Carson. And we have also obtained audio of Sonya Massey and her family's multiple phone calls to the 911 dispatch for mental health assistance just hours before she was fatally shot. Tune in at 9 o'clock tonight to hear those calls. And make sure to stay up to date with all the latest developments in this story and others. Just head over to our website, foxillinois.com. And Fox Illinois is working for you. We're continuing to seek answers in the death of Sonya Massey. Sonya was shot and killed in her home on July 6th during an encounter with Sangamon County deputies. Reports say she called 911 to report a possible prowler outside of her home. Sangamon County received multiple 911 calls about Sonya Massey just days and hours before she was fatally shot by a deputy. Fox Illinois' Carson Gordy joins us in studio after listening to the recordings.
On July 4th, 5th, and 6th, the Sangamon County Dispatch received several calls from either Sonya or her mother, who was concerned about her daughter's mental health. The first call was at 9:26 p.m. on July 4th. The call lasted for only 34 seconds.
911, what's the address of your emergency? Hello, 911.
I'm cool.
Hello, 911.
The next morning on July 5th at 9:07, Sonya's mother called 911 dispatch in regards to her daughter.
My daughter is being sporadic, and she's been mentally having a mental breakdown, which is something new to me. She's not a danger to herself. She's not a danger to me.
Her mother had a request for 911 dispatch and law enforcement when going to help her daughter dealing with mental health.
Please don't send no combative policemen that are prejudiced, please.
Okay, well, that would be none of them, man. They just do their job, okay?
Oh, they're all fucked up. They're scary. I'm scared of the police. Please,
Okay,
please.
there's nothing to be fearful of, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This was one of 2 times on July 5th that Sangamon County officials sent medical attention for Sonya.
Okay, and why did your neighbor hit you with a brick?
Well, come find out, because I can't tell you, man, I'm hurting real bad. And,
Around 2 p.m. on July 5th, a Sangamon County deputy helped make sure that Massey got to St. John's Hospital for assistance. The sheriff's office wrote in a report, in quote, Sonya then admitted to breaking her own window on the back driver's side in an attempt to get into the car to get away from a neighbor. Law enforcement arrived at Massey's home one more time on July 6 at 12:50 a.m. Massey had called dispatch after concerns of a prowler outside. Sangamon County Deputy Sean Grayson arrived to her home. According to court documents, Grayson shot and killed Massey after concerns of a hot pot of water. I'm Carson Gordy. Back to you.
Thank you, Carson. We asked Sangamon County whether Grayson had access to these call records and reports written by law enforcement and dispatch. The county says at this time it is unknown what Grayson had access to or saw before he entered Massey's home. And former deputy Sean Grayson, now charged with first-degree murder in connection to Sonya's death. Questions are being raised about how police are trained. Officials say police officers go through a series of training measures, including a 16-week academy where they're taught about crisis intervention and interacting with other people while on the job.
We do simulations, different kinds of training like that, but it's different when it's live.
Officials say training also includes field training with other officers where they shadow and learn while on the job. And we are continuing to dig deeper into the background of former Deputy Sean Grayson, who is charged with first-degree murder of the death of Sonya Massey. Fox Illinois' Carolina Hassett joins us now after discovering several findings from his past police departments. Carolina?
Received Sean Grayson's personnel file from Sangamon County, as well as documents from past police departments, many questioning why he was hired in the first place, and some findings in the reports may have those answers.
Former Deputy Sean Grayson was no stranger to other police departments in central Illinois. Grayson worked at 5 different law enforcement agencies prior to Sangamon County. And according to Sangamon County Sheriff Jack Campbell, that can be normal for a law enforcement career. Campbell saying, quote, "This is a standard career path in this field. What I prefer to see is movement to progressively larger and more structured agencies with higher levels of public interaction, which indicates professional growth and ambition." These documents also show that the sheriff's office reached out to departments where Grayson was employed in the past. The Logan County Sheriff's Office and the Auburn and Verdon Police Departments all agree Grayson needed more training. In the notes made by Sangamon County based on their conversation with Verdon, it says, quote, "Grayson did not demonstrate good officer safety skills. However, Chief Snodgrass advised me he believes that was because he was new to the job." Documents also show Grayson did have a psychological evaluation. The report said he met the standards, however, he scored low on cognitive assessment, saying, quote, "It will take him longer to learn, process, and apply new material compared to others." It later went on to say that he knows he moves too fast at times and needs to slow down in order to make good decisions.
Now, Auburn documents show Grayson scored a 30 out of 100% on his firearms course, and he passed the course. However, while getting hired at Sangamon County, he received a 94%. I reached out to the Auburn Police Department to ask why a 30 out of 100 score qualified as passing and was denied any commentary. In studio, I'm Carolina Hassett. Back to you.
Thank you, Carolina. According to Sangamon County documents, Grayson refused to answer questions during his internal affairs interview on July 16th. And Springfield Police Chief Ken Scarlett is condemning the actions of Sean Grayson. Scarlett addressing Sonya Massey's death at last night's Committee of the Whole meeting. He says Springfield Police and multiple local departments will look to rebuild relationships and trust within the community.
We have worked hard in this community to repair relationships, to build trust. And I'll continue to do that. But this one rogue deputy has ruined a lot of the progress that we've made.
City officials say they hope a reform is passed to make sure all reports of police misconduct within the department is sent over to a commission for review. And 2 Sangamon County board members have now called on Sheriff Jack Campbell to resign. Board member Mark Ayers released a statement saying in part, quote, "Trust in our sheriff has been decimated, and his actions that led to the hiring of former Deputy Sean Grayson showed a lack of judgment and character that must be addressed," end quote. Tony Delgerno echoed Ayers' statement, saying in part, quote, "I am calling on Sheriff Campbell to put the community ahead of his personal pride and ambition for the good of Sangamon County. He must resign," end quote. You can read both statements over on our website. Don't miss a video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel today for more Central Illinois news.